Salawete Discipoli, and welcome to week 3 of our distance learning. Okay, this week is going to be covering the dates of March 30th through April 3rd. All right, and if you've been directed here, you are probably a member of 5th grade Latin. Okay, so just a quick rundown of what's in this video. All right, we're going to do a speed test. We're going to have, well, it's a speed test, not actually a test. Okay, then we're going to review last week's sentences. Then we're going to do some more practice. And then I'm going to give you further instructions on what you need to do to submit this stuff to get credit for the attendance and class credit. All right, and homework rather. Okay, so what you're going to need for this lesson, you're going to need last week's packet. All right, and that's for the review portion of it. Okay, I'm going to be doing everything kind of almost from scratch here, but you just need this to go over, okay, and see how you did on the sentences. All right, you're also going to need to print this packet out because this packet goes with this video. All right, and of course you're going to need this video. All right, so without further ado, let's go on to part A. All right, so this is a speed test practice. I haven't seen you guys in a while, but this is a good thing to keep on practicing because these endings are going to help you immensely. All right, not maybe right this moment, okay, but when they sink in and when you finally understand what they're used for, it's going to be monumentally helpful. Okay, I promise you that. All right, you can trust me on this. All right, Magistra sometimes knows what she's talking about. So let's read the directions together. All right, pause the video and fill in what you can remember. When you've filled in all that you can, press play and we'll go over this together. All right, so without further ado, please press pause on this video, fill in what you can, okay? And that includes the noun endings chart, the adjective endings chart, and the verb endings chart, which is not showing on my screen, okay, but it's on that first page for you. Okay, all of this is on the first page of your week 3 work packet. All right, by the way, anytime you're looking for something specific in my class, always look in the top right hand corner. All right, I always label whatever it is that you are working on, okay, and usually that'll help you categorize it or put it in your notes or homework, whatever. All right, so without further ado, pause the video, go ahead. And we're back. Okay, so now that you've had time to fill out your speed test, we're going to go through the answers together. All right, so if you would like, you can pause on the screen to check your answers, but when you're ready, I would like to do the chant together. Okay, I haven't seen you guys, as I've said, in quite some time, and I think it's always good to practice. Okay, so without further ado, here we go. A E A M A E A R U M I S 2. Now the first declension's through. Now we're on to number 2. USIOUM OIORUM ISOS and IS2 UMIOUM OAORUM ISAIS. That's the neuter second declension. Wah, wah. XISIEME ESUMIB USESIB US third declension endings. Okay, so those are our noun endings. All right, now let's go over our adjective endings. All right, something I'd like to point out, right? When I usually give you your noun endings, I list them as first declension, and then second declension, and then second declension, right? So then why would it be that adjectives, rather first and second declension adjectives, are listed as the second declension masculine endings, the first declension endings and the second declension neuter endings. Why? Okay, now notice these endings are the same as these are the same as these, and these are the same as these. So it's not even like you're memorizing new stuff. Okay, it's just repeated and organized a little bit differently. All right, so let's take the Latin word for small, for example. Okay, parvus, it's an adjective. And if you were to look it up in the dictionary, you would see this. Okay, parvus aum. All right, if you were to write out the full form, it would be parvus parva parvum. All right, like I've done with you in your vocabulary weekly. All right, you've seen this word before. Okay, so let me draw your attention to something. All right, the US here corresponds with this masculine nominative singular ending. This A here corresponds with the feminine nominative singular ending, and this corresponds with this neuter nominative singular ending. Okay? So they list it this way because remember, nouns never change gender. Ever. Okay, that's a rule. Nouns never change gender. Once they're born, the noun remains that gender forever. Okay, that's just the way Latin works. All right, so in order for nouns and adjectives to match and go together, right, they have to match in three ways. They have to match in gender, number, and case. All right, if they match in gender, number, and case, we call that agreement. They're agreeing with each other. Okay? But if nouns never change gender, then something has to change, all right? And that's why adjectives have all the forms, okay? It could be masculine, it could be feminine, it could be neuter, it could be any case, all right? And any number for that matter, okay? So the adjective will change to match the noun that it's going with, okay? And that's called agreement. All right, so when the noun and the adjective agree, they match in gender, number, and case. Ha. All right, now that's all well and good, okay? But in Latin, there are two types of adjectives, okay? There's ones like parvus, parva, parvum, okay? Your first declension adjective. But we also have words like, third declension adjectives, okay? And those look like this, okay? Fortis, forte, okay? And that means brave or strong. All right? And remember, I told you just a couple seconds ago that nouns, adjectives need to change themselves to match the noun that they're going with, okay? So how is it then that there's only two charts here, two sets of endings? Okay, well, simple. All right, this first one, whoopsie daisy, this first one here is third declension. It applies to masculine and feminine, okay, nouns. So if you have a feminine noun and you have a third declension adjective going with that feminine noun, it's going to take one of these endings, depending on what case that noun is. All right, if you have a masculine noun, it's also going to take one of these endings, depending on what the case and the number is of that noun. Okay, because fortis corresponds with the nominative singular, and forte corresponds with the nominative singular of the third declension neuter. Okay? So that's what we've got. We've got two types of adjectives. All right, and that was just a quick grammar lesson. And we're going to keep on talking about this kind of thing, all right, until you get used to it. Now, the verb part of our speed test, which is why we were doing this whole thing in the first place. Okay, these are your answers. If you must, pause the screen, go over what you did for your speed test, check it. Okay, but then when you're ready, unpause it, and we'll just do our verb chants real quick. Okay? So when you're ready, here we go. OSTMUSTISNT. O or M means I, S means you, T means he, she, or it. Mus means we, tis means y'all, nt means they. Okay, and now let's go to our imperfect tense and future tense chants. All right. Bamba spot, bamba spot is bont. Bamba spot, bamba spot is bont. Bo bis bit, bim is bit is bunt. Bo bis bit, bim is bit is bunt. Ole! Okay, so those are our verb chants for this stuff. Okay, so check your work, make sure you got it all. And when you're ready, we're going to move on to part B. Okay, and that is we're going to be reviewing last week's sentences. All right, now I got a couple emails indicating a little bit of confusion on how to do this stuff. Okay, so what I figured we'd do this week, okay, I created a color key, which you can see in the top right-hand corner of the screen. All right, and this key has to do with case. So any word that's in the nominative is going to be highlighted red and marked up. Any word that's in the accusative case is going to be orange. And any word in the, well, any word that's a verb, rather, is going to be marked up as blue. All right, so let's start first things first. Okay, sentence number 1. Regina pulchra inioriam gravem dat. Okay, so first things first, we find our verb. Usually it's at the end of the sentence like that. All right, and that comes from do date dati datum, to give. Now usually I would ask, what is it, singular or plural? It's singular. So we've got our singular nominatives over here. We've got Regina and we've got pulchra right next to it. Okay, now notice the endings are the same, all right? Now if you were to check it, if you were to go back and look at your charts over here, you'd find that Regina and pulchra do match in gender, number, and case. Okay, they're both feminine, nominative, and singular. So they can go together, and they can be your subject noun. All right, but let's highlight the vocabulary so we know what we're working with. Okay, and we established last week that inioriam and gravem, okay, those are accusative direct objects. All right, and let's highlight the vocabulary that we need. Okay, so now all we got to do is just put this information together and translate it in the right order. All right, so remember, in Latin, the adjective follows the noun that it goes with or modifies. Okay, so in English, I would say the blue dress. Okay, the blue dress. All right, but in Latin, the noun comes first, then the adjective. So I would say in Latin, dress blue. Okay, and I believe that the same rules apply for Spanish, and I would assume they apply to French, Romanian, Portuguese, Italian, okay, the Romance languages, which come from Latin. Okay, so it would make sense that they'd have a similar rule. All right, so same thing here. Okay, so dress blue, Regina pulchra. So let's translate it backwards. We got to say the pulchra, the beautiful Regina, the beautiful queen, dot, gives a gravem inioriam, a heavy or serious injury. Okay, so that's sentence number 1. All right, so you see how we kind of marked it up, looked up the vocabulary we needed to know, and then we translated. All right, that's usually the steps I'd like you to take. Okay, let's do the same thing with number 2. Okay, serva nobilis cassam antiquam amat. So first things first, always find your verb. Okay, and we've got amat over here. All right, amat comes from amo, amare, amavi, amatum. Okay, and it means to love. Now, amat is singular, so we're going to need a nominative singular. And we do, we have it, serva. And it's going right next to nobilis. Okay, now, even though these endings don't look like they match, if you were to check back on your chart, you would find that they do match. Okay, but let's actually just get rid of all of this marking because that's going to just confuse us when I'm trying to point stuff out. Okay, so what was our phrase? We've got serva nobilis. All right, so let's write that up here. Serva and nobilis. Okay, serva is a first declension noun. It's feminine. And serva is nominative and singular. Okay, now, nobilis is a third declension adjective. Okay, so I need an ending that's going to be nominative, singular, and feminine. All right, so that means we're going to be over here. Nominative, singular, and feminine, right? Okay, see how that works? Okay, so serva nobilis. Okay, serva goes with that. Nobilis matches with that. All right, and they agree. They agree because they match in gender, number, and case. Okay, so that's our subject noun. And now we've got cassam antiquam. All right, that's going to be your accusatives. All right, oh, and I forgot to highlight our vocabulary. Okay, so now let's just apply what we know. All right, and translate. The nobilis serva, the noble slave, amat, loves the antiquam cassam, the old house. Okay, and that's your translation. All right, so again, we went through the markup, then we looked up the vocabulary we needed, and then we translated. All right, that's the order I want you to do these in. Number 3, aquam gravem filia parva portat. Okay, so first things first, we've got to find the verbs. All right, we must find the verb. And it's portat here. Okay, coming from porto, portare, portavi, portatum. Okay, now we need a nominative singular subject. We've got one, filia parva. Okay, and if you'll notice, filia is a first declension noun, and parva is a first or second declension noun adjective. First or second declension adjective. So the endings are going to look the same here. All right, and that's going to be an indicator that they do, in fact, match. All right, and now aquam gravem. Those are our accusatives. Okay, so we've got aqua and gravis, grave, heavy or serious. All right, so this is your markup from last week. Now let's put it all together. So the parva filia, the small daughter, portat, carries the gravem aquam, the heavy water. Okay, so that's your translation. And again, we did the markup, figured out what vocab we needed, and then we translated. Okay, that's the order you should do these in. All right, and number 4, nauta fortis filiam levem portat. Okay, so first things first, let's find the verb. here it is. Okay? It comes from porto portare, which means to carry. And now our nominatives here are nauta and fortis. Okay, so they're both nominative. They're singular and they're masculine. Okay, how do you know that, Miss Slade? Oh, well, nauta is masculine by nature. Okay, and fortis has to change itself so that it can be masculine to go with nauta. All right, and filiam lewem, it's accusative. We've got filia and lewis lewe. All right, so this is your markup. Now let's translate and put this all together. So the fortis nauta, the strong sailor, carries the lewem filiam, the light daughter. Okay? So that's it. That's 1 through 4. All right, and again, we marked up, looked up the vocab we needed, and then we translated. Okay, moving on. For numbers 5 through 10, I'm going to go a little quicker without really talking too much. I will still kind of narrate you through the process, though. All right, so puella dolcis agricolam difficilem portat. All right, so you know what to do. We're going to find the verb. Here it is. Okay, and it comes from porto portare, portavi portatum. All right, our nominatives are puella dolcis, okay, coming from puella, and dolcis dolce. All right, and agricolam difficilem comes from agricola, agricolae, and difficilis difficile. All right, so this is our markup. Let's put it all together. The dulcis puella, the sweet girl, portat, carries the difficilem agricolam, the difficult farmer. All right. Number 6. Casam communem agricola pulcher intrat. All right, so find the verb. It's over here, coming from intro, intrare, intravi, intratum, to enter. Now our nominatives are here, coming from agricola and pulcher. All right, and our accusatives are casam and communem. All right, so we've got casa and we've got communis, commune, shared or common. So now let's put this all together. Our pulcher agricola, so the beautiful farmer. Okay, you could also say handsome for pulcher. Okay, it can mean beautiful or handsome, depending. So the beautiful farmer, intrat, enters the communem casam, the shared house. Okay? That's number 6. Number 7. Occupat regina mala familiam nobilem. All right, so first things first, we must find our verb. And that's going to be right, actually, here for now. All right, that's a kind of a trick. All right, always find your verb. It's not always going to be at the end. It comes from occupo, occupare, means to attack. All right, now our nominatives, regina mala. Okay, we've got our noun, regina reginae, and our adjective, malus mala malum, bad. All right, and for our direct objects, we've got familiam and nobilem, coming from the noun familia familiae, and the adjective nobilis nobile. All right, so let's synthesize or put together all of this information. So the mala regina, the bad queen. Occupat, attacks. The nobilem familiam, the noble family. Okay? So that's number 7. Number 8. Serva gravis insulam difficilem spectat. Okay? First things first, you must find the verb. There it is, coming from specto spectare, which actually is not glossed for you here. My bad. All right. Your nominatives are serva and grawis. Okay, serva being your noun and grawis being your adjective. All right, and insulam difficilem, coming from insula, your noun, and difficilis difficile, your adjective. All right, so with this, now let's put it all together. The gravis serva, so the serious slave. Spectat, she looks at the difficilem insulam, the difficult island. Okay, so that's number 8. All right. Number 9. Fortunam gravem occupat nauta antiquus. First things first, must find that verb. All right, this time it's smack dab in the middle. Okay, and it comes from occupo, occupare, to attack. All right, now we've got our nominatives here, nauta and antiquus, coming from nauta, nautai, and antiquus, antiqua, antiquum, old. Now we've got fortuna gravem, okay, coming from our noun fortuna, fortunae, and gravem, which is our adjective, coming from gravis, grave. All right, so that is your markup. Let's go through now and synthesize. Put it together. So the antiquus nauta, the old sailor. Occupat, attacks. The gravem fortunam, the heavy fortune. Okay. So that's that. Okay, now something, whatever. Okay, so finally number 10. Aquam communem filia portat. Alright, so first things first, let's find our verb, okay, and that's here at the end, coming from porto, portare, to carry. Alright, now, our subject, our nominative, is going to be filia. Alright, there's no word in here that goes with filia, so that's just going to be our noun by itself. Nothing describing her. Okay, but we've got aquam communem, okay, we've got aqua, aquae, and communis, commune. Right, so our noun and our adjective pair. So that's our direct object, subject, noun, verb. Let's put this together. So the filia, the daughter, portat, carries, the aquam communem, the common water. All right, or you could say shared water. Either or is acceptable. All right. So that's that. All right, we went through our markup and our translation of last week's sentences. Okay, the translation which you were supposed to do for homework and submit to me. But now, without further ado, let's move on to part C. Okay, we've got some new sentences. All right, and I've added some different vocabulary for you to work with. And this time there's only going to be 4 sentences. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark these up together in the same way that we just did, using our color key and our markup. Then your job is going to be to translate these for homework. So what you might want to do, this is just a suggestion, while we're going through each sentence, okay, I'll mark it up and I'll identify the vocabulary that you need to translate it. So if you want to pause the video and do your translation right then and there, that might be a good idea. So that way you don't have to come back and rethink about it. Okay, just follow through with the whole thought process. Okay, so let's get started. Number 1, please repeat after me. Serva mala, injuriam antiquam, memorat. Okay, so first things first, we've got to find our verb, and that's memorat. All right, memoro, memorare, to remember. Okay, so that's your verb. Now we need to find, well, here's the question. Is it singular or plural? Well, it's singular. All right, so we need a singular nominative here. Do we have one? We do. It's serwa. And look at that. Serwa is right next to mala. Okay, so visually you can even tell that they match in gender, number, and case. They agree. All right, so we've got serwa, serwa, your noun, and malus, mala, malum, your adjective, meaning bad. All right, now, in Yoriam and Antiquam, again, they're accusative. Okay, and this you would know by looking at your chart and looking at what AM is. Okay, your noun chart. And that comes from your noun in Yoria and Yoriai, and your first and second declension adjective, antiquus aum, for old. Okay, so this is your markup. If you'd like, you can pause this video now, write out your translation here, okay, and then resume, and we'll go through the markup of number 2. Okay, and next week we'll review these translations together, just like we did this week, okay? So number 2, please repeat after me. Regina nobilis, insulam parvam, occupat. Okay, so first things first, we've got to identify our verb. And it looks to be this guy right here. Okay, occupo, occupare, to attack. All right, now, you know what I'm going to say. Is it singular or plural? It's singular, which means we need a singular nominative word. And we have one. It's regina. Okay, now regina is right next to nobilis. Okay, so those two things go together. Sorry, let's redo that highlight, because otherwise it's going to bug me. Okay, so regina nobilis. They're both agreeing in gender, number, and case. So they're both nominative, they're both singular, and they're both feminine. All right, now insulam and parvam have the same ending. So once again, it's easy to tell that they agree in gender, number, and case. All right, we've got insula, insulae, and parvus aum, small. Okay, and let me just highlight regina nobilis. So it comes from regina reginae and nobilis nobile. Okay, so if you'd like, you can pause the video now, write out your translation here, and then you can hit play and we'll go over the markup for number 3. Okay, so as I've said, we gotta go through and do our markup. So number 3, repeat after me, please. Puella parva, fortunam secretam, habet. All right, so again, find our verb first. There she is. Okay, it comes from habeo habere, to hold or to have something. Okay, like to have it in your hand or to hold it in your hand, right? That's what that means. Okay, now you know what I'm going to ask. Is it singular or plural? It's singular, so we need a singular nominative, and we do have one. It's puella. And look at that. It's right next to parwa, too. Okay? And they look like they go together, so that's a good bet. All right, and we've also got fortunam secretam. Okay, coming from our noun fortuna, fortunae. And a new cool adjective for you, secreto, secreta, secretum. Sorry for the typo right here. Okay, so we've got our markup. All right, so if you'd like to now pause the video and write your translation here, you may do so. Okay, but when you're ready, press play, and we'll do the final markup of sentence 4. Okay, so please repeat after me. Familia pulcra, nautam malum, curat. All right, so first things first, always find your verb and This time it's at the end of the sentence. Okay, sorry, let me highlight what we need. Coming from kuro kurare, to care for. All right, now, kurat is singular, so we need a singular nominative subject, and we have one. It's familia. And look at that, it's right next to an adjective that even looks like it matches. So we've got familia, familiae, and we've got pulcher, pulchra, pulchrum, meaning beautiful. Okay, now we've got now tam and malum. Okay, I actually made a mistake over here, and I'd like to see if you can find it. Okay, the mistake is right here. Look at that word closely. What did I do? I made the mistake of saying that nautai, is feminine. It's not. It's masculine. Okay, so if this noun nautam is masculine, it needs an adjective that has an accusative masculine ending. So that's why it's not nautam malam, it's nautam malum. Okay, so it has to agree. All right, so this is your markup. If you'd like to pause the video and go through and do that now, you may do so. Write your translation here. Okay, and next week we'll go over those. All right, and before I go, okay, so pause the video and get any information from the screen that you wish, but I'm going to tell you further instruction. Okay, so as I just said, your homework for this week is to just make sure that you translate sentences 1 through 4 from Part C that we just marked up together that way, back that way, okay? So these, all right, mark them up. Well, make sure they're marked up and use the markup in the vocabulary to guide your translation. Okay? Now over here, you've got 2 things you need to do for Part E. Okay, that's your classwork and attendance. Once you've finished this homework, once you finish translating, okay, you're going to have to submit this packet for me for a homework grade via email no later than Friday, April 3rd. All right? In addition to that, this week March is ending, so that means you're going to have to hand in your March flashcard calendar as well. All right, remember, I'm looking for 175 minutes. Okay, so the 2 things you need to submit are your week 3 work packet and you need to submit your March flashcard calendar. Okay, now since April is beginning, you need to know where to find your April flashcard calendar. Okay? And that can be found on the 5th grade website that I've made for this class, which you can find by going through RenWeb or even clicking on the link in the email that has been sent this week at the beginning. Okay, giving you this information. All right, so you can go on the website, and it's going to be included as a PDF attachment in the weekly email from this week. Okay, so you should get started studying your April flashcard calendar. Again, I'm going to be asking for 175 minutes minimum this month as well. Okay, because we're not going to meet for a while. All right, so those are the 3 things I need you to do. And that's the lesson. So until the next time I talk to you, you can always email me. Again, that's why I'm here to help you. All right, slade@gcali.com. All right, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or utter confusion, always just email me. All right, I'm here to help. And I need to know what's confusing you. Okay, so until I talk to you guys next, or see you next, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your families are doing well. I want to say you guys have been doing pretty good work, so I'm proud of you. You've really taken this whole thing in stride, and just keep doing what you're doing, okay? Good job. All right, and I'll talk to you guys on the flip side. Wa later, Disciply.